Hello there. I'm History of the Flash, but you can call me JD.
And ahoy and comic hunter, also known as just Hunter.
And this is a hero story, episode 193. Welcome.
Yeah.
A hero story is the podcast where we talk all things comics. But what do we do when neither of us have a new comic this week? It's one of those rare solar eclipse types week.
That happened like 2
Which
weeks ago
happened
too.
twice this month. That's like a statistical anomaly for us to have nothing.
Well, last week we reviewed like a ton of issues too.
A ton of issues, and this week nothing. And I got baited into going to my comic book shop.
Oh, you did?
So I don't know if a lot of people's shops are like this, but my shop runs subscriptions through managedcomics.com. So you could add to your pull list or whatever, like take something off your pull list, special orders and all that. So it sends you an email every time they pull something for you. So like on Tuesday night, I'll get an email like this, and this was pulled for you, pick it up. So I got an email on Tuesday that said Rogues #3 was pulled for me. And I was like, that's weird. I thought Rogues was out next week. So I looked online. I'm like, no, it's out next week. Why did they pull it for me this week? But I'm like, maybe they got it for me a week early. Maybe I could be the guy who reads it a week early. So I go down to the comic book shop as a guy does, and they don't have Rogues. They're like, oh yeah, it was a mistake. The email wasn't supposed to go out to you. So I'm like, oh man.
Pain.
But I was like, you know what? I'm an opportunity man. I'm in the comic book shop. Let's look through the 25-cent bin. And I found 2 issues that I ended up buying.
Oh, which
one? For a total of 50 cents, I got the first appearance of Jessica Cruz in a nicer copy than the one I already own.
Wow.
And the first appearance of Simon Bass. So
wow.
50 cents, not a bad trip.
That's incredible, yeah. Wow.
Usually I don't even look to the 25-cent bin, but
me as well, yeah. New 52 Justice League issues.
New 52,
both
baby.
of them, right?
The Simon Baz is actually a free comic book day New 52 issue.
Oh, that's hard to find.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So 50 cents, baby.
Interesting. All right. I knew there was no comics out for me this week, so I didn't go to my comic store. But next week we got, I think, Dark Crisis 2 and Chip Zdarsky's first issue of Batman.
And Rogues for me.
And your Rogues, I guess. But 2 big issues next week to review. So we'll
is it really Chip's Batman next week? Are you sure? Or are you spreading out fake info here?
I'm probably spreading out. I thought it was. Hold on, I can confirm that.
You might be right. July 6th. If it is out, I'm hyped because this might be the most hyped issue of the year, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say his Daredevil's coming back, but we already know Chip's Daredevil, so
right.
I would say so, yeah. Okay, the 6. Let's see. It could be. Oh no, I'm looking at this week. I could be very, very wrong. Oh no, it is next week. It is next week. Confirmed.
Oh, beautiful.
And Dark Crisis.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and Flashpoint Beyond. We'll read that.
Fantastic.
Carnage. I don't know if you read that or
not. Oh yes, Carnage, my favorite.
I don't read that, but yeah, those seems to be the big one. Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, since we didn't get comics this week, we are going to do a regular show for the news. But when it comes to the comics, both JD and I, we actually read a ton of back issues every week, more so than the weekly issues. So we figure we just catch, since this is like, we record this on the last day of the month, we figure we talk about what did you read in June, since we both kind of log that in. So yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the comic stuff. And then also, in case that doesn't take too long, you guys sent in questions and topics that you want our opinions about on our Instagram story at A Hero Story. So we are going to go over that as well near the end. Yeah, but starting with the news of the week, it's not too many, but the first bit of news, this was announced right when we finished recording last week. So we're going to talk about it now, and that Marvel Studios announced that for the first time in a few years, they're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year to announce probably Phase 5. Because Phase 4 is ending like right away here, according to Kevin Feige. So cool. Yeah. Those are exciting times. I hope we get to see it live. Because sometimes
there's going to be a lot of big announcements.
Announcements that we probably don't even know about, and announcements that we do know about. Like,
will this beat the hype of that Disney day?
I don't think so. If it does, I hope so.
It would be hard to beat because I mean you
Yeah.
got Fantastic Four and all the shows and stuff, so it would be hard to beat that.
Yeah, we kind of have a feeling what we're gonna get into. And there's also shows that Marvel's has been working on that they've never officially confirmed. Werewolf by Night is a Halloween special set in the MCU that comes out this Halloween. They have not announced it, but we know it's real because it's filmed. Like it, people have talked about it. There's set photos for it. It says Marvel Studios Werewolf at Night, but the MCU just hasn't really confirmed it yet, even though we know what's happening. So there's stuff like
So
that.
so July would
There's
be a good time to announce that at Comic-Con.
exactly be like, oh, hey, we have something coming this Halloween for those who don't know. There's also stuff like there's apparently a Nova project coming out soon that we don't really know about. I'm blanking right now, but I feel like there's more. And then obviously we'll get announcements or things that we don't know about. Maybe an X-Men thing, something to do with mutants. So we'll have to wait and see. This is phase 5 probably, so they're likely going to announce maybe 10 shows, 10 movies. Some that we already know about, some that we don't. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Is there anything you want to see since you are a Marvel expert as of this month?
True. New Avengers movie. No, I would love to see more of Secret Invasion. Because we already know about
Oh
it, but like
yeah,
we don't know any details. So I'm
maybe a
so
trailer.
curious, like who could end up being a Skrull this whole time?
Yeah, that's a good point because we don't even really know what Marvel characters are in this besides Nick Fury and
Right.
Maria Hill.
Right.
So yeah, I'd like to see more of that too. That's a good point. I guess we will get trailer. We'll probably get a Black Panther 2 trailer, maybe a Ant-Man 3 trailer, Captain Marvel 2. So
And I'm sure you as the biggest Iron Man fan are
mhm.
very excited to see Armor Wars, something of it.
I don't think we'll get anything of it.
How could they have announced this all the way at the beginning and still nothing?
I
It's
think they might
insane.
say it, they might mention it, but we won't get any information.
And now Iron Man's first family, Armor Wars.
Yeah, they might be like, yeah, Armor Wars is coming out like next fall or something like that, but they won't go into detail at all. Maybe they'll announce like some people of the cast, but I don't know. I don't really have a lot of hope that anything's happening with that. We might get information on Blade. That's supposed to be filming soon. I keep seeing delayed, but maybe the fantastic. Oh, my one hope is Fantastic Forecasting
Casting,
or
yeah.
director or give us news on that because we know what's happening, but we don't know anything else. So
From Multiverse of Madness director Sam Raimi comes Fantastic Four,
exactly.
starring John
Uh,
Krasinski.
a project that might be announced there, maybe a little too sudden from Marvel Studios' point of view, but a Doctor Doom project, which was apparently leaked. Did you see this?
No.
You know Howard Stern?
Yes.
He leaked it.
Oh.
He does a radio show, so a podcast, and during a commercial break, he left his mic on, and he
Not
said
Mike,
that
baby.
he said he was getting a little stressed out and a little upset because he has to film Doctor Doom soon. He literally said he's filming Doctor Doom soon, and his co-hosts were like, "Oh man, what's that about?" He's just like, "Well, I had to call Robert Downey Jr. I asked him for some tips, his acting tips for just the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and yeah, Doom starts filming pretty quick here." Huh? And this is real. You could
Have
find this audio. Like this
Have
just
you
happened.
ever read Books of Doom by Ed Brubaker?
No, I haven't.
So it's a either 5 or 6 issue miniseries. Ed Brubaker, obviously great 2000s Marvel writer of Captain America. Books of Doom is about Doctor Doom's origins,
Okay.
and it's him talking to a reporter like the entire time, like giving his life story. And
Oh,
it
so it's his origin in a way.
right, you get like his whole life story, like how he became Doctor Doom and all that. It's a good miniseries, but the ending, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, and I think maybe you'll eventually end up reading it. But it's him being interviewed the entire time is like the concept of the book. So could they be doing like a Books of Doom type of adaptation where Howard Stern is the one interviewing him?
Maybe. Because yeah, Howard
It,
Stern
it
is
has a
not
very good
playing
ending.
Doom.
That miniseries, highly recommend.
Okay. How many issues do you say it was?
5 or 6. It's short.
Okay. I'll add that to my Marvel Unlimited library pretty
There
quick
we go,
here.
baby.
But Howard Stern, he's not playing Doctor Doom. I think he's
No,
80.
I'm like, I mean, like it would be like some kind of cameo, like
Yeah,
interviewing him or some
maybe
shit.
he's
But that made
interviewing.
me think of
Okay.
Books of Doom.
Okay, that'd be cool. We also don't know if this is a show or a movie. We don't know anything besides that Howard Stern's in it. But yeah, I guess we're doing a Doctor Doom project, which I'm okay with that. I don't think he needs to be the Fantastic Four villain. I think having his own thing would be fine. So
Yeah, I mean, Doom's one of those characters that can carry, a book if tasked to. So
exactly, yeah.
I'm with it.
And he's not just a Fantastic Four villain. He's a Marvel villain. Like he's an enemy to Iron Man. He's an enemy to Captain America, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men. Like he's such an important character. And if we are leading up to Secret Wars, we need that character to be very developed going into it. So we'll
Right.
see. Christian Bale did an interview today, actually, day of recording. And he said that he filmed some scenes with Jeff Goldblum and so Grandmaster that were cut from the movie. So I'm guessing he was also Eitri from Infinity War, King of the Dwarves. That was also cut from the movie. So I'm guessing that if Gore the God Butcher was with these characters, he was probably going to kill them. And maybe Marvel Studios decided that they wanted to save these characters for future installments. So that's why they cut it. So apparently this movie went through a lot of cuts. We're going to get a lot of deleted scenes, and not just for these. Like Taika Waititi also was doing an interview saying that they did film some scenes that didn't really make sense in the long run and didn't really add much in the long run and took away opportunities. So they ended up cutting a lot of people that they casted big roles to, but they're like, maybe we should save this. So
but if you say this to the current Marvel fan base, they're going to be like, oh, we need like Multiverse of Madness when we found out that it wasn't 2.5 hours and things were cut. Like, oh, we need the extended cut, or we need the full, like, oh god.
but yeah, you guys realize that they cut it for a reason.
Right. Every movie goes through cuts. Every movie ends up cutting out a lot of things.
Look at the Endgame deleted scenes with like Tony Stark when he snaps and suddenly he's in the Soul World talking to an older version of his daughter. Right. Okay, I get why that was cut. Like that's right. An okay scene, but totally understand why they cut it.
Right.
Or there's a scene where Cap does a speech to the Avengers, which is a great scene in the middle of the battle, but also doesn't make sense. Like, why are they all just standing there listening to a speech and no one's fighting?
Kind of a comic booky moment, though.
It is. But like this Thanos be like, all right, everyone stop.
Hold on, pause. I want to hear this.
Yeah, like it doesn't really make sense in the long run. It is cool that we're able to see that, and maybe we'll get to see Gore kill these characters on when like the Blu-ray comes out or when it comes on Disney Plus. But I won't hold out hope yet. We got an animated trailer today for day of recording for Super Sons and the animated movie, which is. Did you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
a friend of the show. Jeremy Adams is writing it too.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. So
remember he told us on the interview that he has 2 animated projects in the works that he couldn't announce yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of them.
This is one of them.
Even though, what did we already know about this? I mean,
the show was announced.
To it, but didn't we already? Right. Okay.
Yes, the show was announced. We talked about it on the podcast like a year ago when it was just starting.
Wait, show? I thought it was a movie.
Oh, movie. Yeah. Sorry, movie. It's a 3D anime movie, kind of with the 2D style. Looks like they're facing off against Starro. And yeah, it's the same designs of the comics for the Rebirth comics with Jorge Jimenez's design. So cool. I'm not really into the animated DC movies as many people are. So I don't know if I'll check this out or not.
I think the newer wave of DC animation isn't, like the gold standard, like how the old DC animation, animation was. But yeah, I mean, this one doesn't look too bad. I mean, we both like Super Sons. We both read the original Super Sons series, so who knows? I
believe the person who plays Freddy in Shazam is voicing John Kent.
So that is correct.
That's kind of cool. But yeah, it looks fun. I don't think I'll personally check it out, but it's cool to see. Next bit of news, I'll let you talk about this one. The JSA are back.
Listen, I like the JSA. I have no problem with the JSA, but they've returned 5,000 fucking times since they've returned.
I think 2019.
We get it. Yeah. They're back. Oh God.
The thing is,
Dark Crisis 3. Joshua Williamson posted them, and that's great. I mean, happy for him. But like, do we need to do this in every event since
Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock.
Mhm.
Like it's ridiculous at this point. The JSA have been reintroduced 4 times.
Yep.
It's too much.
The thing that's bad about this is they come back in Doomsday Clock, and it's like we've been missing for like 6 years,
And it
and now we're
made
back.
sense in that kind of story.
It was great,
right? Like
yeah.
the whole asylum thing, and
Mhm.
it was good. But
Faulty
then,
memories, and they came
right,
back, and it's like, hey, we're back for this final issue, and now the GSA are back. And then Scott Snyder's Justice League happened, and
not a fan of
John
that.
Stewart and Barry Allen go back through time and meet the GSA, and the GSA literally
At
go,
Pearl Harbor.
yeah, at Pearl Harbor, which Grodd and Reverse Flash were involved in. But the GSA at the time were just like, hey, we're back. And John and Barry were just like, we don't know who you are. What? But Doomsday Clock happened. You should know who you are. So they're back again. They're back. And then Infinite Frontier happened, and the JSA are in that, and they say, hey, we're back. So the problem isn't just that it's repeating itself. The problem is they say we're back and nothing happens. But they
Listen,
don't.
I get that
Nothing
old.
happens.
I get that old people repeat themselves and forget things, but like this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh my God.
it's annoying because JSA fans are like, yeah, they're back. See you next year. Like not, they don't do anything with these characters, so they appear for an issue or two. So the fact that they're appearing Dark Crisis issue 3 means like, okay, so they're going to be in the rest of this series, and hopefully at the end they'll get an ongoing series for those who want it. But it's kind of annoying. So
If there's like a whole like, oh my God, I forgot about the JSA, I'm gonna lose my mind.
yeah, I hope not. So,
but I could see the JSA having a good place in the story, because we kind of got like in the 3 generations of heroes. Now the middle generation has been pulled out, right? So you have the JSA, and then you have like the Titans era.
yeah,
Let them team up and get the universe
whatever.
back on track.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that could make sense. So I like that
Could
they're
make
in the
sense.
story, but it's just please don't have people be like, who are you? They should be known by now.
Yeah. And by the way, Jake Garrick has been in the Flash book, so like Wally shouldn't be like, who's that guy?
Oh yeah,
like,
that's true.
He should be like, hey yo, that's my man. Boom.
I think Jay Garrick's the only one that's been appearing in things. Oh, Dr. Fate was in the Flash book too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hawkman just had a series.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
I'm not judging. It's not out yet. Could be great.
We'll see. Yeah.
I hope it's great.
Maybe they're in issue 2
great.
as well, but we'll see. That'll be next week. I have this written in the news. I didn't delete it from the last many weeks. I don't know if there's any update, but I just said
Ezra Miller got arrested again.
I just have Ezra Miller in the news. I just don't delete it anymore because this seems to be news every week.
I saw there was something about Ezra and a German woman.
That was do you want to fight?
Fight? Okay.
Yeah, so she's suing him.
Oh.
I believe. I think. I also saw there was reports that he was in a bar in Tokyo, and he was fighting people in that bar. Apparently that's not true though. There's no real source. The guy who said this said, oh, my phone died, so I can't take pictures or anything, which is like
that's
yeah, that's hard to believe. So
did you see there was some tweet where like Ezra Miller points to a globe and is like, that's where I'm gonna go next.
And he goes to a bar and fights people.
Fight the universe.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's like that comic series Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but it's Ezra Miller fights our universe.
That'd be actually good. I'd read that. I'd make that. I'll make that. I don't care.
You want to go, bro?
I'll make that right now. I don't care. Let's get the word. I'll make a new comic. That's the news of the week, I guess. Oh, I'll do an update for me.
Okay,
that's cool. I did a comic called Night from the West, and I made it in May. I finished it in May, and then I was just like, can't wait for people to read this. And now it's July. No, and people have been reading. You read it, JD.
I read it. Only me and Drew read it from like outside of your.
Tyler read it.
Like, family. Okay.
Harper read it. Harper edited it. Somehow he found way too many mistakes in my speech bubbles, and I was like, oh my God, you're right. So I thank him for that. You're not getting paid though. But so some people have read it, not many, because it wasn't done, but it is done now. And then so what I did was I sent it out to a lot of publishers. I sent it to Boom, I sent it to Image, I sent it to Dark Horse, I sent it to Aftershock, Renegade, like companies I've never even heard of. I sent it to, and pretty much every reply was, "Hey, we're really busy with submissions right now, so we'll get back to you in 6 months." I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got two replies. I sent it to I think 20 different publishing companies, and two people said, "Hey, this is great. We're going to put it on file, but we're not looking to submit it right now. We're not looking to publish it right now." So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I mean, that's at least a little positive.
Yeah, but I'm impatient. So
Fair. You're going full
so
Tom McFarlane on their ass.
it's off to the printers. I'm printing out issues right now, and I will sell them on my own. Fine, I'll do it myself. I'm literally saying fine, I'll do it myself here.
Have
Put on the
fun with
gauntlet.
that. Outside of Canada to America shipping, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah. So pay for shipping. So if you want a copy, follow me on Instagram at Sketchbook Hunter, which is my art account, and I'll post updates there for when it'll be available. I'm supposed to get the in 2 weeks. I'm supposed to get the copies in, but then I wanna just kind of sell it my own. If you just want to read digitally, do not fear. I have a plan for that, but I'm not going to announce it on the podcast. I'm going to wait until I get these copies and see how many people want a physical copy first, and then I'll announce on Sketchbook Hunter when that's going to be. But I have a plan for that, and a more affordable plan if you can't afford a $5 comic, because I think I'm going to charge $5.
$5 comic with $17 shipping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
It's so when we did the Price Hero Pays, we had obviously a lot of Canadian buyers from people who just listened to the show, or people that Hunter knows in real life.
Yeah.
So shipping out to Canada got a little expensive. It was a little tough,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So
it
we'll
was
see
worth
what I
it for
can do.
my Canadian friends.
Well, we'll see what I can do. I'll put a little deal here. I just don't want to lose money here.
Of course, and
So
that was the goal of the Price Hero Pays. So
yeah.
we
So
were able to turn a profit on the Price Hero Pays. So
exactly. So I'll keep putting updates on that account, but it is a comic that I finished and I'm proud of, and I'm ready to work on the next one. And I hope you like it if you read it, and if you don't read it, hey,
as someone who
thanks.
read it, I enjoyed it. I think Hunter did really great work on it,
Thank
and
you.
I think it's very admirable that someone can write, draw, color, ink, letter. I mean, the whole shebang. Besides the editing,
Yeah.
the whole shebang. Like it's impressive, and it is an interesting story, and I think where it leaves off in the end sets up a lot of potential.
I try to make it set up a series. I don't know if a series will happen, but if it does, hey,
Oh,
I
when
love
one of
that.
those comic companies gets back to you and they're like, "All right, we want more of this,"
Well,
you're
that's
gonna
what
get
I
it.
did when I sent to every company. I pitched it like they're just like, "Do you want to pitch this as a single issue, a series, a mini series, a graphic novel?" And I pretty much did all of them. Like, let's do a series, a graphic novel, because I feel like this could be a trade. I feel like this could be like a one big story, and this first issue, these first 24 pages, sets up the story for the most part. But it's still contained too. So yeah,
Cool stuff.
that's the news of the week. What are you reading for June? I'm curious if I beat you, because I read a lot more than I usually do this month.
Did you?
But I know you read a lot too.
I don't have a number right now. I'd have to figure out the number, but
I don't either.
I have been going full out Bendis Avengers from the very beginning of Disassembled to the very end of Avengers vs. X-Men. That's 10 years of comics, 2003 to 2013. Very cool stuff. Hunter read this last year, like last summer?
Last fall, yeah. I think I
Last
started
fall.
September, finished in
Hunter read it
December.
all physically, because that was before you were
Yeah.
Marvel Unlimited subscriber.
Oh, it was
I'm
last
reading
summer
it
then, yeah. Would have been summer.
I'm reading it all digitally. Love it. Great stuff. Hunter, this is your favorite team book?
Yes, that's my favorite team book. Is it yours?
So it's, I don't know. I like it a lot, but I said that I need to revisit Justice League. Because
I mean, Justice League New 52 is very special to me, but I think nostalgia has a big play in that, because that got me into superhero comics.
Of course.
But I don't know, it's very good.
There's a lot of great moments. I mean, if you only know modern, like when I say modern, I mean like if you only know DC Bendis, like you're selling yourself short, because there's so many great Marvel stories that Bendis wrote. such a great era of comics, and
Y-
really what he did for the Avengers and making them relevant. I mean, there were great Avengers comics before. Kurt Busiek's run is pretty historic as well, but this is the one that made Avengers kind of like an A-lister book, and tied them into so many events and great events too. I have an ongoing joke
Such
about
great
DC
events.
Comics that there's no such thing as a good event comic, but I mean these Marvel events are just they don't miss.
They're so
Maybe,
good.
I mean maybe Civil War, but they don't miss. Like
But oh
so.
my god, Secret Invasion, Siege,
Secret Invasion is
Fear itself.
crazy.
Did
I
you?
mean, even
Oh,
Avengers vs X Men is actually
pretty
pretty
good.
enjoyable.
Yeah,
I kind of lowered my expectations because I'm like, this is gonna be dumb, but I actually thought it was pretty good. I just finished
it
it
is.
today. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. So,
Yeah, it's
and
not
I
bad.
think above everything that impresses me about Bendis is just that he wrote so much at the same time, like historic runs at the same time. Like I said this to Tyler and Hunter. He wrote Daredevil, Ultimate Spider-Man, and New Avengers at the same time, and then add in all the events and all the side Avengers books. That's insane. I
And they're
mean,
all good.
his Daredevil is in my top 3 runs of all time, and it's number 3. I love that run. Ultimate Spider-Man is not in my top 10, but I think it's a great run, and I know it's a lot of people's top 10s. I'm
It's
pretty
in
sure it's
my
in
top
Hunter's
10.
top 10.
Yeah,
It's in. I think it's one of Tyler's favorite runs of all
I
time.
think it is his favorite run of all
It might
time.
be his favorite run of all time. And then his New Avengers is amazing. So it's crazy that like you could write all that at once at the same time. Like,
Uh,
as someone who's
he
tried
was
to
the
write,
king of comics during the 2000s.
100%. As someone who's tried
Yeah.
to write, it could be hard to like come up with new ideas or try to make things different, try to make things pop. I don't know how he's writing 3 like separate great ideas at once.
And
Like
they're all so
the
different.
constant mind juggling that was going on is just it's so impressive. So
Like,
that was my task this month. Hunter had been telling me basically since he read it, like, yo,
a
you got to
year,
read this.
about a year.
And I kept saying to him, like, give me the issue numbers and I'll read it. Well,
And
he
I
didn't
never
do
did.
such things.
No.
He just sent me a picture of trades and he's like, figure it out. Doesn't
Yeah.
help. But luckily, Comic Boy Tyler was a nice man and gave me a reading order. So I read it. I've been reading through his order. It's a very good order. It's good stuff.
And
I've
not
enjoyed it a lot.
not to speak to someone else, but Harper, who hasn't been on the show for a bit, but listeners probably know who he is, I imagine. It's been a few years. But it reads very specific characters. Like he will read Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Flash and Daredevil, and that's it. Like he won't venture past those characters often. He will do Doctor Doom here and there, but he read Bendis' Avengers, and he was sending panel after panel after panel to us. He's just like, look at how awesome this is. Like this is great. And like Iron Man and Doctor Strange are on the team for many of the issues, but still, like Bendis knew how to write a team, and he knew how to make you care about characters. Like JD, last month, did you care about Spider-Woman?
No.
But you probably do now. Well, I don't know if you do now, but yeah, it's still not. But
No, I think Spider Woman's. I have more respect for her than I had in the beginning. So
yeah, exactly. And like Bendis's Avengers made Luke Cage one of my favorite superheroes in general. Like Luke is one of the characters that's on just about every single team, and the team changes a lot, but Luke Cage sticks with it, and he's so good in it. Like some of these characters are so good, and the tie-ins are good, and the events are good, and I love Siege the best, I think, out of all the events.
that's interesting. I feel like out of all the events, I mean, minus Civil War, because not counting that because Bendis didn't write it. I think Siege is probably in my last place of all the
Really
events.
interesting.
But it's a Thor heavy event, and I'm not a big Thor guy, so that
And I
makes
am.
sense why you like it, right? You're a Thor
Yeah.
heavy guy, so.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Bendis Avengers has been dominating my month. I also read Jeff Johns Avengers, which longer than I thought, 20 issues. I thought it was like one arc. So I read
Was it
that.
good?
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Okay.
The arc called Red Scare or Red Death, maybe Red Scare. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's Red Scare. Tyler says is one of his favorite Avengers arcs, like period.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty good. The last arc's a little weird, but overall, like enjoyable, and it actually like Jack of Hearts and Ant-Man are kind of like Scott are big parts of it. So
Mhm.
like when I got to Disassembled, I was like, oh, I know those guys. Oh shit. Like
Yeah, they die.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I know about these people. So
Okay.
um and then other than that, I just read the Ford Darth Maul miniseries, which I think I talked about before,
Yeah, you
either on
mentioned
the show
that.
or just to
Yeah.
you. I like them all. So yeah, it's mostly been an Avengers month, or it's mostly been a Bendis month, which is pretty crazy. Now I'll try to total up the issues, but I want to say, just looking at it right now, it got to be over 150. But I'm gonna add them up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna add it up and I'll post about it right on the first here, which is when this
Yes.
episode's up. Um, I'm sorry, I have to say it for the 100th time. So you skipped Young Avengers?
Oh my god, I wanted to finish by today, and the only way to finish was to not read Young Avengers. But I will read it. It's in my Marvel Unlimited library.
You should do
But I
it
needed to
before
stick to
Justice League.
core Bendis.
Do it before Justice League.
Fine.
Okay, good. And then Children's Crusade, which is the sequel.
Yes, Hunter.
That okay.
Jesus.
If we're talking Marvel events, I think Bendis had a hand in this one because it is an Avengers event. I think Children's Crusade is the best one for the 2000s era. I think Secret Wars is the best, but I think Children's Crusade is the best event in general. It's a Doctor Doom event like Secret Wars, but it's very, very, very well done, and it's a Young Avengers sequel.
And it's Jim Chung on art, right?
Yeah, for every
Which
issue.
is amazing.
Yeah, you need that. Like it's so good. The way he draws like just metal, like Doom's mask and everything is just so good. The light reflecting off of it, and yeah. I was all over the place this month, but sticking with Marvel. So my plan at the start of the month was, all right, the Miss Marvel Disney Plus shows out, so I'm gonna read a little bit of Miss Marvel stuff and then just Thor for the rest of the way. And I started with Spider-Man 2016. I went with Miles because I was just like, I don't really want to read just Miss Marvel. I've read her first volume. I like it. I understand it, but let's see what else she's in. And I know she was an Avenger for like 12 issues. So I was like, okay, I'll read all new, all different Avengers. And Miles is on that team. But I'm like, I haven't read anything Miles 616 besides like Civil War 2. So
Is that all new, all different Avengers? That's the Mark Waid one, or no?
it is Mark Waid, yeah.
Okay.
So I was just like, well, I kind of want the last time I read Miles Morales was he in the Ultimate Universe right before it got destroyed. So I'll check out Spider-Man 2016, which is a 28 issue series that Bendis wrote. It was his last time on Ultimate Spider-Man.
And right at the end of his Marvel run, just
exactly.
period.
And it's literally just Ultimate Spider-Man. It's just a continuation. Like it's really good. If you like Ultimate Spider-Man, you'll love it. It's just continuing Miles' story. He's still going to the same school. He's still friends with Genki, however you say it.
I've said Gonk before, and I know it's not correct, but I've said it.
I think it's Genki. I could be wrong.
I think
like,
I don't even remember who made it, but someone made a meme of a Gonk droid on Miles' friend.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn it, that's how I say.
But there's also like the same continuation from Ultimate Spider-Man where like Judge was their roommate at first, but then he left because he thought they were weird. And it just continued. It's very, very good. So I read that, and then after I read that, I jumped to all new, all different Avengers, which is a very short run. But Miss Marvel's on the team, and it's like Sam Wilson, Cap, Jane Foster, Thor, Vision. Like it's a pretty, it's like all the legacy characters coming in, along with new legacy characters like Miss Marvel and Spider-Man and stuff like that. And then after that, they left the team to form their own team called the Champions. And I was like, oh, instead of doing Thor, I may as well just continue to follow them. So I read Champions 2016, Champions 2019, Champions 2020. I read all 3 champion runs that exist. And it's fun. It's Marvel's Teen Titans, essentially. It's just a bunch of teenage superheroes that form a team and they go from there. So it's a lot of fun. Cyclops is on the team because he was young at the time, like a time travel version. And interesting thing, I don't know if you knew this, but in the back letter at the end of Mark Waid's run on Champions, he said Cyclops is his favorite superhero of all time. So he was really honored to write a young version.
Mark Waid?
Yeah, Mark Waid. Scott Summers is Mark Waid's favorite superhero. So
I would not have guessed that.
I wouldn't have guessed that either. I was like, what? Why? So he really wanted a young Cyclops on the Champions, and he is on the Champions. And eventually, continuity hits, and adult Cyclops comes back, so young Cyclops has to lead the team. But as an adult Cyclops, there was an event called Outlawed, which is where teenage superheroes are now illegal, and an adult Cyclops has to stop them. So, or has to help them. Sorry. So it was cool to see that Miss Marvel and Cyclops are friends. After that, I jumped into Thor by Dan Jurgens, which is 85 issues, and I jumped into that just last week, and I'm on issue.
And you told me on the show, like after we finished recording, like I'm going to try to finish this by the end of the month, and I thought, no.
85 issues, yeah. I'm on issue 70, and it's currently 6:30 p.m. our time. After this podcast, I'm on export, I'm going right back to it. Like, I really want to try to get to it.
Luckily, I only have 7 issues of Avengers left, so I should be good.
Yeah, you should be okay. Meanwhile, I'm just like, come on. But it's
okay,
not,
I get it.
It's not bad though. It's actually good. It's 90s Thor, but it's good. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much. It's a darker take on the character, not as in like, oh, he's edgy, like more so like he messes up a lot. Like he does decisions that are bad. And so the main plot, the first, it's Romita Jr., it's just like a casual adventure. It's very cheesy at the beginning, but after issue 40, it really changes pace. Odin dies again. He's done a lot, but when Odin dies,
he has a habit of doing that.
Yeah, he has a habit. But Thor decides that he will be king for the first time. As far as I can tell, this is the first time. I read 80s Thor and a little bit of the original Journey to Mystery stuff, but I think this is the first time.
Did you read that? I didn't know that.
I tried.
I can't imagine Stan Lee dialogue with the weird words.
It was when I first decided, like, I'm gonna be the Thor guy. I don't want to dream.
Come at the exclamation point.
Yeah, basically, and that's how they talk the whole time. Even to Jurgens, though, he does that too, and it's not
like Kirby art is amazing on Journey into Mystery, though. Like,
it is. It's great. Yeah, he really knows how to draw these characters. But it's pretty funny every time in Dan Jurgens' run that there's like something happening that they don't know what it is. Thor says, "All right, let's journey into mystery to find out." Like, haha, I like that.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. So after issue 40, Odin dies. Thor becomes Lord of Asgard, and he decides, I want to do things different from my father. I want to be gods. The people, like, I don't want to just stand back in space and watch. I want to actually be gods. So he brings Asgard to Earth above New York because it has to be New York. And he literally just stands there and looks for people that need help. And he goes and saves them, not as a superhero, but as a god. So like people are starving. So he'll go and he'll just summon food for them because he has Odin's powers here. So he can just summon things. A kid dies, brings him back to life, and
that's when Chad comes up to him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a kid named Chad who's like, my dad says you're not a god, and but the whole story though is like everyone relies on Thor, that they quit their jobs, they stop cooking for themselves, they stop buying food because Thor will give them food, and they become a cult to Thor. Like New York becomes a cult, half of New York at least.
It's kind of like the theory of like, don't feed wild animals because then they stop hunting for food and they become
exactly. It's the exact same thing. Like, why don't you show them how to get food rather than doing this? So like there's a full issue that follows this father where he's a fisherman and he can barely afford. He's in debt. He can't really afford to live anywhere. He has $20 left in his checking account. Like he can't afford to live at all. So. And he wants his son to go to college. So he finds out, oh, if I die in the like during work, then there'll be like $20,000 will go towards my family. So he tries to kill himself by going out into a storm on the boat, and he's like, I'm gonna just drown. But then Thor comes and saves him by saving him, he gives him like a ton of lobster and everything, and then he becomes like extremely wealthy again because he finally became the greatest fisherman in the city, and he prays to Thor every night. He becomes obsessed with Thor, and he doesn't fish again because Thor will give him lobster if he needs it. And he just, it just goes over all these people, like they're so obsessed with him. And I haven't finished this arc yet, but it's really interesting. Thor's starting to be like, oh God, like
that's a cool premise. Like you're trying to do the right thing, but like it keeps coming back to bite you.
Yeah, literally. There's people lined up Like Thor's just like, how's New York doing today? And he like looks down and the entire state's just bowing down to him. It's like, oh, this is bad. Like, so it's good. It's real. I'm like shocked. I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, do recommend Dan Jurgens' Thor. It's slow at the start, but it gets really good after issue 40. When Odin dies, it gets good.
Wow. So, assuming you're able to finish this by the end of the month today, in
Yeah.
a few hours, what's next for the comic book hunter?
I think I'll continue Thor stuff because I've just been really liking it.
JMS Thor?
Yeah, I think
Which
so.
apparently is not as long as a run as I always had built up in my mind.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was a long run, not a long run.
So yeah, Jurgens' run ends in 2003. I'll just go on to 2004. Wow. Work my way up.
Trying to make your way up to
2010, which is when I started reading Thor.
Which is Jason Aaron.
Yeah, or 2010, 2011, something like that.
Wow.
Just to get the 2000s.
Oh, and obviously Thor dies.
Yeah.
At some time in the 2000s. So I'm assuming at some point there was just no Thor comics.
Yeah, I don't know what happens there, so I'll find out. Or if I'm going to sick of Asgard, then I have the first omnibus for Green Lantern by Jeff Johns.
Yes.
So I think I'll tackle that because I've read Blackest Night, I read Rebirth, like or the original Green Lantern Rebirth. So I read some Jeff Johns Green Lantern before, but I haven't really dove into the run. So yeah, that's my plan. And you're just doing Justice League?
I'm very undecided on what to do for July. I've picked a big run every month. I made a list January 1st, December 31st, January 1st of runs I'd like to read this year. And I've checked off quite a bit of that. I sent it to Hunter. I've done quite a bit of it. And that's how I picked Bendis Avengers for last month because I didn't know what I was going to read for June. Okay. So I'm not sure what July is. It might be Justice League only because now that I just read one of the best Avengers runs, should I read the best Justice League run and compare and contrast? Because it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Possibly Justice League. If not Justice League, I really don't know.
I sold you on Thor.
Considering Hickman Avengers or Hickman Fantastic Four through Avengers, Secret Wars whole order. Again, Tyler gave me the Secret Wars reading order, so I could go through that if I just want to keep full Marvel. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that I want to read, so I'm never out of stuff to read. It's an ever-growing list.
If you
just go all miniseries and all random,
Beta Ray
short
Bill.
Series.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill by Daniel something.
Daniel Warren Johnson. It's perfect. It's a perfect comic right there. It's really good. Perfect. But seriously, like if you like the build up to Secret Invasion, which is incredible.
I don't know about the Secret Wars build.
Then the Secret Wars build up is longer and
I know it's gonna be great. Do I have it in me to tackle it right after Bendis Avengers? I don't know.
That's what I did. Although you should do Fantastic Four first, like Hickman's.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyler gave me the order, and it starts obviously with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because it's very much a Fantastic Four story. So
yeah, which I'm looking forward to, and that's one of the Fantastic Four runs that I wanted to read anyway. So.
Did you like the Illuminati?
Yes, I thought the 5-issue Illuminati series was fantastic. I wish it was longer.
Yeah, well, Hickman's New Avengers is literally the Illuminati. Like that's the team. It's the same team except Professor X is dead at the time, so it's Beast. But besides that, it's like the same team. So that's what you should read. It's one of my favorite Avengers run, Hickman's New Avengers.
If I don't read that in July, then that might end up being August. So
yeah, this summer at least.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm curious who won this. I'm not gonna count yet. I'm gonna finish Thor and then I'll count. But
I have a rough number, but I don't know that it's correct, just because I was kind of adding it, a little bit on my head here. But
what's your rough number?
It's well north of where I thought it was.
Oh, what is it?
In the 280 range.
Oh no, you probably.
I didn't realize that Bendis Avengers was that many issues.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Oh no, I'm gonna say mine is. I'm just gonna add up. I'm just estimating.
It's a nice feeling to beat Hunter month in and month out. It brings.
You said 280.
If my I've never been great at math, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close on this one.
Oh my god.
We'll see though.
I'm at like 180. I was like, oh, I beat you. Oh my god.
But it's almost all Bendis, which is crazy. like I said, I've been logging it all in the Comic Geeks app, and
Mhm.
in my top writers, writers you read the most of, Bendis and Wade were tied when I started this run,
Oh, so now
and,
Bendis is just miles
and now
ahead.
Bendis is up by like crazy.
Yeah, probably 200 issues or
So
something.
that's how I know like it's been a lot of issues, like a ton of issues.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you probably beat me. We'll see. We'll see.
It's a good feeling.
And yeah, that's I guess the comics of the week, if we want to call it that. AMA, we asked you guys to ask us questions or give us topics that you want to hear us talk about. And I've only looked at it once, and that was an hour after posting.
It should be. I looked at it very quickly, and there's only one question where I was like, "Yep, we got the same answer on that."
Yeah, yeah. Which one was that?
But
We'll find the username too.
yep,
We
the
got Jason.
question is, if you could erase one comic from your mind, like forget all about it and read it over again, what would it be? And that is from. No, I can't find the question. Hold on, just 1 minute.
You got this. I'm trying to find the one that I saw earlier.
Oh man, why can't I find it?
Do, do, do. Good podcast content right here.
Kev at kev.doc. And
Also,
a second person asked it,
add andres.dbc. I just found that.
asked it. So two people asked the same question, which is kind of funny. And I think we both have the same answer. Hunter's answer is going to be Invincible, and
Yeah.
my answer is going to be Invincible
Yeah,
because that was
Invincible.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, Invincible is it's so good. It's such a good story just to sit down. Like we've talked about it a lot of the podcasts, but it was one of those comics where every free moment you had, it's like, okay, I can read an issue.
Yeah,
It's so good.
basically.
So yeah, that's the comic I would say for sure. Okay, now we'll just kind of go through this. Some people are just saying news that we already talked about, like Super Sons movie. Um,
What's your all right? So, what's your favorite story from your top three characters from Comic Andre?
ooh,
So,
ooh,
give me your top three characters first, and then give me the story from them.
it's a Daredevil, Batman, and Superman.
Okay, we share one: Daredevil, Nightwing, and Flash for me. So, favorite Daredevil story? If you had to pinpoint it to one arc, I think the easy answer is Devil in Cell Block D.
That was what I was
But
thinking.
Bendis is my favorite run, and I kind
I
of want to say it's when he becomes the Kingpin. I think that's just such a brilliant arc. Like,
do you remember the name of that?
no,
Okay, for me,
if
Daredevil,
Harboro's here, he would know the name because he's great.
Daredevil for me, I think is Born Again. I think
Oh,
that's the
Born Again's also
easy
a great
answer,
answer.
but it's
Yeah, that's
I
true.
read Born Again I think 5 times, and I love it every time.
Every time, yeah.
And I'll read it
And
again this year probably. Like
and the
it's
art is great. David Mazzucchelli is amazing.
I just
Frank
get
Miller.
in a Daredevil mood sometimes, and I'll like watch an episode of the show, and then I'll read Born Again, and yeah, it's just very good.
You're literally born
For
again as being a
Batman,
Daredevil fan.
it is. These are all just generic. It's year one, but if I were to
Is
be,
your one your favorite Batman story? I didn't know that. That's
it
obviously that's
is
my
year
favorite
one.
Batman story. Not my top
Yeah,
three characters, but
it's either year one or Court of Owls, which I know are like everyone likes those, but there's a reason why everyone likes those.
it's true. It's true. They're great.
Nightwing for you? What's your favorite
Nightwing.
Nightwings?
I'm gonna go with the Hunt for Oracle. I think it's just a very interesting story with Blockbuster trying to find the identity of Oracle. Nightwing teaming up with the Birds of Prey. Chuck Dixon at his best. Some great Greg Land art and Scott McDaniel. It's a great art.
Okay. And then my third favorite superhero is Superman. And for me, the first thing that comes to mind is For All Seasons.
And there's
It's
nothing
just
wrong with that. It's a great story.
it's
When I saw Tim Sale died, like I honestly want like I was looking at my shelf and I was like, damn, I want to read For All Seasons.
For
Like
All
it's such a good
Seasons,
book.
yeah. And honestly, like it's emotional, but nothing. It's not like a sad story or anything. It's just it makes you feel something.
It has like a whole like melancholic kind of feel over the
Yeah,
book. Yeah.
it's about Superman's first time being Superman, like his first year, and it's for all seasons. What happens in the summer, fall, winter, spring, and it's just him not knowing really if he wants to be who he wants to be, and like it's very, very good. And I think that's my favorite. It's not. I think I'll count it as canon. I don't know if it's canon, but
I mean, there's nothing about it that would make it uncanon.
it's his
Like it's
first.
like
Yeah,
the same thing with like Long Halloween and Dark Victory. There's nothing about them that break canon, so I'll count it as canon.
yeah. If I had to do like a full on canon, it's Superman Rebirth issue 7, which doesn't have an official title. It's just Son of Superman Part 7,
The one at the
but
fair,
they go to the fair. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
which Superman is barely in that issue, which is
No, but it's
like
just
it's funny that like that would be your favorite Superman issue, but it is an all time great.
yeah. What about you
Uh,
for
well, for
Flash?
Superman,
Oh, for
obviously
Flash.
my yeah, no, I know Superman. Obviously, I've said my answers many times in the show. And Flash, everyone knows my favorite Flash story is Flash Blitz. Though in recent years, Return to Barry Allen has really, really grown on me, and it's kind of become a 1 and 1A at this point. So
Okay.
it's just too good, too peak of Flash. So
Yeah, fair enough.
that's our favorite story from our top 3 characters. Kind of hard to break into the top 3 characters. Like just man,
Yeah.
just good stuff.
Jeff the
Um,
Land Shark, real quick question asks, when is book club coming back? Please, it's so good. I miss book club. When is it
I
coming
miss
back?
book club too. I've been a big advocate for book club.
Let's do
It
book
can be
club
very
again.
hard to get the 4 of us together. Obviously, different time zones, different lives. But
Countries, yeah.
I love book club, and we've talked about trying to bring book club back with, of course, Daredevil, Guardian Devil by Kevin
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah, because we were gonna do Armor Wars and we just stopped. And even though we all read Armor Wars, and
We all read Armor Wars. I think Tyler was the only one who didn't finish it, but I think he just recently finished it. So
yeah,
we
like
could
I'm
even just record that.
yeah, soon. Let's
But
do it soon. Tyler has actually said that he'd be down for do more shows.
and Harper, I think he would do it. I mean, it's Armor Wars.
Come on, yeah, or Guardian. It's Harper's favorite Daredevil story.
It's
I
true.
think.
It's his favorite
I
Daredevil
think
story, and don't let
is
him convince you otherwise.
Guardian Devil. Yeah, he really likes Black Widow in that. So we'll try
Uh,
it. We'll try.
there's a lot of people I see here asking about like when are we going to do more special episodes, D&D and all that stuff, and I do think it's coming. I know
So
Hunter has been nagging.
I have. Tyler messaged me the other day. He's like, "I'm down to do D&D," and I was like, I posted on the Hero story on Instagram just to like get it out there. Let's get it rolling. And I'm just like, let's do it. Who's ready? And JD was like, I'm ready. And then no one else replied.
I'm ready.
So he's ready. I
I
think
feel like I'm
it
not even going to
will.
like D&D, but I'm ready.
I think you will.
I'm
Maybe you
not that
won't.
big a fantasy guy, but I'm willing to give it a chance.
You'll give it a chance. Are you willing to do it for like 3 hours? Because
Good God, I'm
they're
gonna
they're a
need a big
little.
ass thing. I'm gonna need a big ass thing of water.
Yeah, you will. But it's fun, and I think it'll happen in the summertime. I'm not confirming it, but I'm gonna make it happen.
You're gonna speak it into existence.
I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, because I'm ready. I really want to do it. I'm really prepared for it. I just got to get these guys to make characters and stuff. So
There
I
you
think
go.
it's happening.
Uh, Trey Talks Comics asked a bunch of questions. The first one being, of course, will JD read Kate's Venom? A lot of people have been nagging me to do it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm not a Venom guy. I'm not like,
It's good. It's
but
good.
he also said it hurts my soul when Hunter said that he's a Miss Marvel expert because he read Champions. Hunter needs to read the Miss Marvel solos before he calls himself an expert. TBH.
Okay.
We
I
always jokingly say that Hunter's an expert. He's
Yeah.
not an expert in anything
I'm not an expert, but
besides like maybe like Tim Hortons history, maybe.
yeah, he was a hockey player, but like Daredevil but like Batman is the character I read the most of. And I was gonna say I wouldn't call myself a Batman expert, but I think I would. I mean, like,
You read like 2000 to present, more or less.
yeah, pretty much. I'd say expert in modern Batman, but the thing is, like we say, I'm an Eternals expert. I'm not. I've read maybe 20 Eternals issues in my life. It's just a joke in the end. So I'm
You call
not
him
a
an
Miss
Iron Man
Marvel expert.
expert, but
I
that's
am
only
an
to give
Iron Man.
Harper.
I am an Iron Man expert though.
It is your most read Marvel character,
Yeah.
but
I think Thor is now, but yeah.
oh, but
Uh
yeah, always a
let's
joke when we say that.
yeah, it is. So I'm not a Miss Marvel expert. Matthew Decaf Coffee just says once in future. Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
It's good, yeah. uh,
Um, at the Comic Book Insight asks, "Will JD sing Summer Nights from Greece?"
that
How do
was the
people
one I was.
know? How do people know that I'm a big Grease fan? Um,
You're a musical
I
fan.
I think honestly on the podcast I've referenced Summer Nights from Greece by saying, "Tell me more, tell me more." Like, does he have a car? One of my favorite references. Love that movie. Love that song.
Will
Great
you
song.
sing
I
it?
won't sing. I won't sing
Hmm.
because the internet's forever. But tell me more. Tell me more.
That counts as singing, I guess.
A little bit. A little bit.
Nacho Morano says Christian Bale's future in the MCU. What's your personal opinion on it? Can you guys discuss that? Uh,
I don't think there is one. I think
I
that
think he's
this
gonna
is it.
die. Yeah.
Yeah.
My hope is he goes to the future and we could do God Bomb one day, which is the second
But
go round.
Gore is a one and done in the comics. I mean,
He
more or
is,
less.
yeah.
12, 11 issues, and then that's it.
Yeah. He appears again in King Thor, but that takes place like a million years in the future. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Gore is not a reoccurring character. Like he has his story, and that's it. And his story is two stories. It's God Butcher and God Bomb. So God Bomb takes place a little bit in the future, and I'm hoping we get that. So I'm hoping he gets sent to the future, but I have a feeling he's gonna die. And all these interviewers are asking him like, "What's it like to be in the MCU? Are you excited for your future in the MCU?" He's just like, "Oh, I don't know." So because I think he's dead. I don't think he's gonna survive. I like to see him live, but no, I don't think he will.
Hoochins Gavin asks, "What was your first full comic run you read in its entirety?" Chuck Dixon's Nightwing, and it was through the library that I read those, so that was actually pretty impressive to be able to get the whole run. And since then, I've read many, many runs. I know yours is Sonic, but
Sonic the
outside of Sonic,
Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog by
what
Ian
is
Flynn.
your first superhero
Uh,
full run? Not just the piece
Not
or
just
arcs,
trades,
full run.
yeah. Well, I started reading. I guess So with me, I read just trades of little stories here and there. And my full run was the New 52 titles. So I started reading when New 52 was first beginning, and I didn't read trades or anything until Rebirth began. So I guess Batman, Aquaman, Flash, and Justice League. Those were like my four that I read for New 52. And I've gone
Or
back and read more. I've
obviously
read,
four of the best New 52
yeah, exactly.
books in general.
But when I first got into comics, it was I wanted to read Batman and Justice League. And then through Justice League, I'm like, I really like Flash and Aquaman. I'm gonna pick those up. And then I just read all those until they ended. So I guess they all ended at the same time. So that's what I pick.
Rear Window 040906 asks, "Was the Donny Cates Venom better than the Scott Snyder Justice League saga?" Can't say. I haven't read one.
Such a weird
It's a
comparison.
random question, but
Those are
it's kind
so
of a good random. I
different.
like it.
Those are so different. They're both good. I will say Kate's Venom is better. It's a better overall story. But Scott Snyder's arc Sixth Dimension is one of my favorite Justice League arcs ever.
Period.
And that's better than any Kate's Venom story. Maybe not King in Black, but that's a Marvel event. But I would say Kate's Venom, yeah. Why the Kate Venom questions?
I know. There's a
That's
lot of.
odd.
I think people just really want me to read it.
Yeah.
I got one ready. If you don't
Sure.
got
Yeah,
one.
go for it. Go for it.
Nick Heasters 3 asks, "If you had to rank the Tom King miniseries, where would you put them?"
I haven't read
Me,
Supergirl.
oh, I haven't read Supergirl and I haven't read Rorschach. Shame on me because I
Oh,
probably
you
should have read
haven't.
Rorschach. It's done now.
I
But
also haven't read Batcat, all of it. It ended. But
I'm never reading that. Mr. Miracle, Visions, Strange Adventures, for me.
I will do Mr. Miracle #1, and then the Visions, and then Rorschach, and then Strange Adventures. And I like Strange Adventures, but I think Rorschach's a little bit better.
I think there was also hype, like a lot of hype that went to Strange Adventures because I was still riding the high from Mr. Miracle of like just having recently read that. And I'm like, I'm so ready for this. And then I read it in single issue and I was like, fuck, this is slow.
Yeah, and it takes like 2 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
because of
like
delays.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Calvin the Hermit says, "What is your most shocking experience reading comic that made you go, what the actual F while reading?" That part in Invincible, when
Invincible number
Invincible says
109.
it. Yeah. Invincible literally says those words, and it makes like I had to put the book down for a second.
Invincible, and this is not a good woman.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even the thing I was thinking of. That's a
Oh.
good one though. Because you're
Oh,
thinking
what is
about
it?
the farm, right? When he
Yeah.
crash lands. Okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil for those who haven't read it.
No.
I'm thinking the other dimension when you
Oh,
get
okay, yeah.
when near the end when it's not the first multiverse arc, it's like the second or third
Yeah.
when he gets stuck and he just says that because it happens so fast, like plot twist, plot twist, plot twist, plot twist, and then Invincible literally just goes, "Oh my god!" And then the issue ends. It's like, "Oh god, yeah." So that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, that's another good one. Or another Invincible one. I'm not gonna spoil it, but when he comes back from a certain time travel scene and goes to a certain girl.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to put the book down for that. I was
Yep.
like, I had to look outside. I had to go touch grass for the first time.
Yep. In a while. I
Yeah,
to me, it's still the Anissa one that just made me go, genuinely, what the fuck?
yeah, no, that one too. So I read a lot of Invincible on a bus, I think. So I'm glad I didn't get to that.
Oh, that's good. That would have been an awkward. You've
Yeah,
been
no,
really
I
huddled
was
over.
alone for that, but it did make me be like, oh god.
Comic Germ asks JD versus Hunter. You have the training, powers, abilities of your favorite character. Who wins?
I'm
So,
blind.
so it's Daredevil versus the Flash. I'm
Yeah,
chilling.
bro, I'm dead. I'm done for. I don't care that I'm not Catwoman. I can't stop him.
If me and Hunter fought in real life, no powers. Hunter's got the height advantage. He's a big guy,
I guess,
but I'd
yeah.
like to think I could take him.
No, I think you could. You work out. Do you still
You're
work
too
out a lot?
nice, right? You're Canadian. You're gonna
Yeah, no, I
apologize. I'd
wouldn't.
punch you in the face and you'd apologize.
Yeah.
So
Do you still
you
work out a
know,
lot?
I do work out a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm screwed. I'm
Yeah,
screwed.
I'm just. It'd be
No.
fun though.
Yeah.
Actually, Harper and I had talked about boxing, like 2 years ago at this point. Not 2 years ago, but like a year ago.
I think it was about 2 years ago, but yeah,
And
no,
I
that
think
was
I could
funny.
take Harper. I think I could take Harper.
Jeff the Landshark asked, will JD and Hunter meet in real life? Yeah,
I'd like to one day. I think
I
we
think it'll
will.
happen. It was actually okay, I'll say it. It almost happened this month. Yeah. So Harper and I were talking and we were gonna go to New York in June. We talked about this a while ago. We're like, in June, let's go to New York. Because I was gonna graduate school and we were gonna go to New York
What?
and we are gonna talk to your dad about this. And we are gonna literally just knock on your door and have you answer.
That would be my biggest. What the fuck?
What are you guys doing here? Yeah, no, we
Like,
were
holy
gonna
shit,
do it.
Harper's short. No, but I'd be
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, we are
I,
gonna
I, I
film
wouldn't even be able
it.
to muster words. I'd be like, hi?
Yeah, then you close the door on us. No,
Wow,
we were
Hunter's tall.
planning it, and then we were gonna talk to your dad about it, but then we're just like, wait, June's pretty
That's
close.
expensive.
Yeah, for him especially, because he has to go over the ocean.
Right.
Because he lives in a dirt shack, and I don't know how he's gonna afford
In
that
Australia.
in Australia. So we're just like, maybe June's pretty close. And he's just like, yeah, maybe we'll push it. And then I don't know, we just kind of stopped talking about it. But we
So now I can get the drop on you and show up in Canada.
do it.
I've been
I'll
to
show you
Canada
snow
once.
for the first time.
I've seen it snows in New York regularly.
Yeah, in Miles Morales, but yeah. A lot of questions on a certain Spider-Man film.
Nope, no comment.
Yeah. So
Nope, not touching that one.
Leduki asks, Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Did you watch this yet, JD?
No, I'm waiting on my parents at this point because I like to watch shows when they're done. And I've asked them, like, all right, let's get this started. And it hasn't gotten started.
That's fair. I won't discuss it really. I will say that I loved it. And I think a lot of complaints are
I've seen a lot of spoilers, and from what I've seen, it looks cool. But
you've probably seen way too many spoilers.
way too many. It happens. Yeah. It's part of the risk of watching it all at the end. But
you're a prequel fan, though.
Eh? I'm a prequel fan.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you love this maybe more than I do.
Matthew Novak asks, I found myself moving from the big two and moving towards
Marvel
indie
DC.
books. Do you feel the same way? No. I think let me rephrase that. I think I could.
The way you said
But
that.
however, I only read one non-Big Two book in single issue, and that's Geiger, which if it weren't for Jeff Johns, I wouldn't read it. So I don't think I'm there. I'd like to be there. I'd like to read more, indie stuff, but I just haven't found the right thing yet.
I read Once in Future. I want to get
I read
into the
Once
Turtle
Peter Trade,
comics.
just not in single issue.
It's almost over. Hey, it ends at issue 30.
Yeah.
I would like to get into horror books. I love Nice House on the Lake, and that's published by DC though. It's not a DC universe book, but it's published by them. I really want to get into horror comics, so it's just money at the moment.
Right.
I did get a job pretty recently, so maybe I could start to get into that. But at the moment, I'm interested in Batman. I'm interested in Daredevil. I'm interested in whatever else I'm reading. So the books I'm reading are both Marvel, DC, Thor. There's another one, Hulk. I'm really into them. That I'm not really drifting away from them at all. I'm reading less than I was at one point, but I'm okay with what I read.
It's only because you're reading everything.
Yeah. Orange Ranger SPD7 says, "Who would you like to interview next?" Mark Waid again.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's writing books now that we're reading, so that'd be cool. I think my dream writer is Zdarsky right now.
Oh, Chip would be awesome. I also think Tom King would be really cool.
He would be great, yeah.
Just because I think great story, like
his life in general is
that's what I'm saying.
insane.
Like his life is just cool. I think
It's not like I wanted to be a writer. Like he's done a lot in his life. And even when he became a writer, he wanted to be a novel writer.
Right.
Like his first comic with Mitch Gerards was
Sheriff of Babylon.
Sheriff of Babylon. And when he pitched that, he was told this should be a comic, not a novel.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. I like comics. And so that's how he kind of got started. So that'd be great to just talk to him about his work, his latest stuff. And he's always writing comics that aren't announced. So that'd be cool. As far as artists go, I keep discovering that a lot of my favorite artists don't speak English.
Which obviously I've thought the same thing. Like it would be really cool to get some of these artists on, the podcast, but
not
there's
many.
a lot of from different countries.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult too, but there's still a lot. Like Gary Frank would be really cool. I don't know if he does podcasts, but he'd be awesome.
Dude, I love Doomsday Clock. Okay. Like where would that go?
I think Mitch Gerards would be really cool. I met him once and he was really nice. But like there's artists that like they're so passionate about the work, but they don't speak English. Like Jorge Jimenez, he speaks a little bit, but I don't think he'd do an English podcast with us.
Right.
So Dan Mora, I don't know what country Dan Mora is from, but he'd be awesome to talk to. I have no idea if he speaks English or if he doesn't. His Instagram.
Absolutely. I couldn't even tell you what Dan Mora looks like.
His profile picture on Twitter, I think, is a drawing of him, so I can picture his drawing. But are you Googling it?
I am Googling Dan Mora, but it's only his art showing up, so I still have no idea what he looks like.
You gotta do person or say. I just saw you take. Oh, my number one artist. I'm trying to think of my number one. My favorite artist of all time is Greg Smallwood.
Ryan Otley?
Greg Smallwood.
Oh.
And he speaks English. So I would love to have him on. He didn't write. He did art on Moon Knight by Jeff Loeb, which is one of my favorite comics ever made, ever. So I would love to get him on. He's a huge inspiration to me. When I was in art school, he was literally, I had a Greg Smallwood comic on my desk and his website open all the time just for inspiration. Being like, I want to get there. And Greg Smallwood, he posts a lot of of tips and stuff on his Twitter, and I'm always just using those tips. So he's my number one. But I haven't even messaged. I should try to message him. Would you be down to talk to Greg Smallwood?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I got to read
Moon Knight first.
Yeah, next month. But yeah, that'll be cool.
Because I know he started with Archie, which is pretty interesting before he got into superheroes. I'll have to learn about
Dan Mora was born in Costa Rica, by the way.
Okay.
So I don't know if that gives you any more information than you already have.
No, yeah, that could mean one or two things. They could be English or not English. So one day we'll figure it out.
One day.
I do
St.
have,
Paul.
yeah, go.
St. Paul asks us, what are our thoughts on Thor being a comedy? I feel like you guys are gonna hate it. You're at least right on me.
Well, Thor could be funny. He's allowed to have jokes. He has humor in the comics, but he's also more similar to, say, Batman than Nightwing. Like he's more of a serious character in the comics. So he does have humor here and there. He does laugh. He has fun friends. He loves ale and he loves to drink and go laugh with his friends. But yeah, I'm a little afraid for Jane because Jane is not that funny of a character. So I'm a little nervous.
Hunter has mostly like said that he's afraid of this movie. Then he's like excited for it.
I think that's you with Flash. That's Harper with Doctor Strange.
No, it's not me with Flash. I know Flash is going to be god awful.
Okay, so
although I should watch out because Ezra Miller might decide to come to New York and assault me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, hey, Thor. I was gonna say that's next week, but I'm talking about Thor, not you being assault. Ezra Miller. I mean, it might be next week. He might point at your house next on the globe and be like, "I'm coming for him."
Good gosh.
Next one in line says, "Can't think of anything to ask. Just want to say I'm a huge fan of the show. Actually, I do have a question. What's your thoughts on the supposed Craven plot leak?" We kind of. Oh yeah.
No, we talked about that.
No, this came out today. Did you see this?
Craven the Animal Lover?
Yeah, there was a huge plot leak.
Oh yeah, you sent it, or someone sent it. Yeah, I saw that.
Tyler sent us the end credits.
Yeah, I only saw that part of it.
Do you want me to read out the thing? It's not that long.
Go on. Spoilers for Craven if you somehow care.
Yeah, Craven the Hunter, the movie. So the character played by Russell Crowe in the film is Vladimir Kravenov, the original Craven the Hunter, who is now retired. He has a son named Sergei Kravenov, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is a millionaire activist who is against hunting of animals. Sergei is trained by a child by Vladimir. When Sergei was still a child, Vladimir put his son through a rite of passage that gave him superhuman abilities for some reason. Then Sergei wants to put an end to criminal organization and dedicates himself to poaching animals led by subjects only known as blank. It just says blank. Sergei locates the members that are purging animals and confronts them at a warehouse owned by him. There are a number of hunter outfits covered in animal skins, such as the lion skin from the comics that Sergei puts on. Even though he loves animals, he puts on a lion's skin. Okay. So he then decides to make the hunters realize that they now feel like prey instead of hunters, and he starts to hunt them down. After incidents of Craven chasing the criminal organization through the city streets, the FBI identifies and goes after Sergei and also the hunter organization that he's chasing. At one point in the plot, Sergei is helped by a woman who falls in love with him. Then Sergei finds out that she was hired by her father, Vladimir, in order to get Sergei away from her father's plans, or from his father's plan. Her father, okay. This is her father's plans. I think it might have been his. Sergei confronts the leaders of the organization, and it's led by the famous chameleon. Sergei kills him. Calypso, this is a new name, I guess, decides to help Sergei. Oh, that's the woman, sorry. Decides to help Sergei since she had fallen in love with him. The real villain is the shadowy leader of the criminal organization, who is actually, plot twist, Craven's father, Vladimir. Sergei confronts his father, ends up killing him, and then discovers that the chameleon was actually Craven's brother. That's how it ends. The post-credit scene, there's two post-credit scenes. First one is revealed that Dmitri, chameleon's real name, is actually not dead and still out there. And the second credit scene is Sergei is now known as Craven, not the hunter, and learns over a radio that a major robbery in New York City left several injured, caused by, according to the press, a vulture and a vampire. Craven decides to hunt them down. What do you think? That's it.
You know this movie's gonna be fucking boring. When I was bored as fuck of you just reading the plot.
Yeah, we just lost.
I was like, holy fuck, when is he gonna get to the end? Yeah, oh my god.
That's the end.
Horrible. That's gonna be bad.
So in a nutshell, no, I won't. I just explain. I won't. Morbius reference.
Oh, I hope they have cool jumping scenes.
Do you have another question?
This is the last one I could find. Smarmy Cube asks your favorite Marvel comic run. Mine is Bendis Daredevil. Yours is I don't know actually.
What is mine? I don't know either. I like
Is
Bendis
it New
Daredevil.
Avengers?
It might be new.
Did you just combine all of Avengers?
I think Ultimate Spider-Man might be mine.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I really like Ultimate Spider-Man. I think so. I'd have to think. I like God of Thunder by Jason Aaron. So it might. Oh no. I do know it. It's Mark Waid's Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
I like it better than Bendis.
1-1A with Bendis Daredevil. Yeah. That's great.
Leo3 says, what upcoming superhero games are you most excited for? There's a few coming out. There's Wolverine, there's Spider-Man 2, there's Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Oh God. Spider-Man 2 for me. However, Same. I don't have a PS5, so don't know when I'll be playing that.
Same for me, but there's also no release date for this game, so we got time.
Maybe in the future I'll get a bundle like a PS5 with the game. You know how they do those from time
You
to time.
beat Spider-Man PS4 in like a day, didn't you?
I was also in college and had time. Good times.
Yeah, I remember you.
Now I'm a big boy with a big boy.
We did a podcast review for that, and you were finished.
I was finished. Oh man, what a time! You
finished in like a day.
All the time. Should have been reading more comics in that time.
Great game.
Or talking to women.
Nah, you played Spider-Man.
Played Spider-Man, yeah.
Top 4. No, that's favorite superhero teams. I thought it was superhero items. We'll do that instead. Top 4 superhero items.
Yeah, we're changing somebody's question.
Yeah, sorry, Leo3, you asked one already, but we're top 4 favorite superhero items. Green Lantern ring.
Thor's hammer.
Yeah, Mjolnir. Cap shield.
I'd give you Cap shield. And number 4 is going to be.
Yeah, I'm like looking around my room. Oh, yeah. maybe Batarang.
It's a little generic.
Okay, Aquaman's Trident.
I would do Aquaman's Trident.
Okay,
it's a cool item.
Yeah, I'm like looking at posters and stuff like.
Mount Justice Daz, our good friend, our main bro, asks, "What's our theory on the DCU post Dark Crisis?" I don't know.
I think the League will come back in Dark Crisis.
You seem to be one of the only people who thinks this.
Yes, I know. I just don't think they will come back.
I like the idea of like the younger generation running things. I just don't know how it's going to be. I'm curious, like, if there's going to be like a villain kind of like team. Like, you know, the way Bendis sets up Dark Avengers, like with all the villains kind of working together, is kind of brilliant. And it would be cool if they did that, like, you know, because Slade's doing his thing with, you know, getting all the villains together.
Titans, villains, yeah.
Like, it's a time to, you know, that all happens like post Civil War and post Secret Invasion, like when the Marvel universe is in shambles. So the DC universe is potentially in shambles here. So like, this would be the time for the villains to, you know, make their move. So it'd be cool to see something like that, like a villain like team, or even like what the Hood has in Bendis Avengers, like where he's financing everything and he's got like his, you know, I'll get you guys out of jail, I'll get you guys back on the street, I'll get you started, whatever you need, I'm there.
Okay, that'd be cool. I think we might get a JSA title. And I don't think the League will come back. I think a different writer will bring him back. I don't think it'll be Williamson. But I can see Williamson writing JSA after. Or Justice, maybe there'll be a new Justice League, but it's not like the ones we know.
It's not going to be Frankenstein and Harley Quinn and.
Yeah, the worst. No, that team's going to get destroyed next week. Trade up Patch asks, y'all watching Miss Marvel? I am, and it's awesome. I really like it. JD's not.
When it's done, I might watch it. I don't know. I'm kind of undecided on it. I've heard only Hunter's opinion on it.
Oh no, that's the wrong opinion. It's
No,
very.
I'm trying to think if I've heard anybody else say anything about it, and I can't think.
It's very creative. It reminds me of Spider-Verse in the way where it's like it's a young hero who gets powers and they're already a fan of superheroes, or they already know a lot of superheroes. So, and it's very creative in the sense where there's like a lot of animation to it. Like
Right.
she's sketching her sketchbook and you see the drawing on the wall behind her and stuff. So
Right.
it's fun like that. I guess I could ask one more.
Yeah.
Or do you have more?
I got nothing left, so whatever you got at the end of the AMA here.
Houchins Gavin says, what comic run do you think is overrated and what comic run do you think is underrated?
Ooh. Huh. Okay. Overrated. I'm gonna say Charles Soule, Darth Vader. I thought it was okay, but I
Ooh.
heard really great things going into it. It was okay overall, but I didn't think it was that like amazing.
Okay.
So that'll be my overrated one. And not that it's bad. I just think that like I just heard so many good things going into it. It's all right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Underrated. Might have to come back for me for underrated. Oh, I'll go Impulse. I think that's a very underrated run. I think it's a very consistently good title. I think
Good one.
even after Mark Waid leaves it, which you would think it gets bad, it actually stays very good. So
Okay.
Impulse will be my underrated run.
For overrated, Batman by Grant Morrison.
I would agree with that.
Thought it was okay.
I would agree.
It has some good moments, but I think it's just okay.
Drew is going to be very mad at that one, but I agree.
I know, but for underrated, Young Avengers, JD.
Okay.
Get on that. No, I think most people that read Young Avengers really like it.
I was about to say, I thought the 2005 run was pretty popular.
It's very popular. I was just saying. For underrated, I would say maybe Champions, like Mark Waid's Champions. I don't know anyone who's read it before, but I read it and I thought it was really fun. So yeah, I'll do that. Just like maybe it's loved. I don't know a single person who's read it besides myself. So Tyler read it and Tyler said that was a good issue once when I posted about it on my story, and that's all I know is opinion on this. So we'll see.
I mean, you know, if it's Marvel in the last 20 years, there's a good chance that Tyler's read it. Just overall speaking.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
He's an encyclopedia.
And yeah, that's thanks for sending your questions. That's not all of them, but that's all we have time for. I guess
that's all we have time for.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for your questions, and that's pretty much it for the show, I think.
Yeah.
So you'll see our numbers for the month of what we read. You'll see me beat Hunter once again.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, it'll probably be up by now on Instagram.
Should be up by now. If you're listening on YouTube, we appreciate a like, a subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. For Hero Story, I'm JD.
I'm Hunter, and thanks for being a hero.
And remember, every second is a gift. Goodbye.
What?